Good afternoon. Welcome to Basic Electrical Engineering, Unit 3, Transformers, Lecture 18, Transformer Tests and Regulation. Today we'll see different types of tests that are conducted on transformer in order to determine its equivalent circuit or efficiency and regulation. So today's topic is transformer and regulation. The transformer test. The performance of a transformer can be calculated on the basis of equivalent circuit. The four main parameters of equivalent circuit are R01 as referred to primary or secondary, R02, equivalent leakage reactance X01 referred to primary and referred to secondary as X02, magnetizing susceptance B0 or reactance X0, core loss conductance G0 or core loss resistance R0. These are the four main parameters of the equivalent circuit. The above constant can be easily determined by two tests. One is open circuit test, or it is also called as no load test, and the other one is short circuit test or impedance test. These tests are economical and convenient. These tests furnish the result without actually loading the transformer. Without actually loading the transformer, you can determine the four main parameters of the equivalent circuit. Open circuit test or OC test. This test is performed to find out shunt or no load branch parameters of equivalent circuit R0, X0, I mu and Im. This results the iron losses and no load current values. Now you can see this is the actual transformer wherein this is the low voltage winding LV winding, this is the HV winding high voltage winding. This is number of turns in LV is less and number of turns in HV will be more, and this is the core between them, and the high voltage is generally kept open. In an open circuit test you have to open the high voltage and you need to supply and connect the measuring instruments on the LV side. So for this primary, this is called as now the primary, LV is primary here and HV is secondary. It depends on which is to which you are connecting the load and to which you are connecting the supply. If you connect supply to HV, that means that will be primary. Here we are connecting the supply to the LV side. Number of turns of LV side will be less, so you have to connect the AC supply, single phase AC supply, which is not directly connected. Instead you'll use the variac, and to this variac this is an auto transformer. To this you'll connect an ammeter, and to this ammeter in series you'll connect a wattmeter, and here a voltmeter is connected in parallel. This is a symbol of a wattmeter. You'll have an inductor here, and this is the current coil, and this is the potential coil. Potential coil has a resistance and an inductance in series, and a current coil has an inductor, and the terminals of this current coil are called as M and L, and the potential coil is called as C and V. So this is a completely a wattmeter. You'll also have this experiment OC test in your laboratory, so to find no load losses or core losses, and no load current, which is helpful in finding R0 and X0. So this is about OC test. Now when transformer is operating on no load open circuit, because the current drawn by the shunt or the parallel parameters is very small, about 2 to 5% of the rated current. When it is open, the current carried will be very small. Thus a low current will flow through the circuit during OC test. In order to be readable by the instruments, measurements of voltage, current and power must be performed in low voltage side. Low range current coil, low range wattmeter must be selected because it is carrying low value of current. Low value of meters must be used. The power factor of the transformer on no load is too low, which is typically below 0.5. On no load the power factor of a transformer is less than 0.5, so you need to use a LPF wattmeter. So in order to work this with this low value, a LPF, low power factor wattmeter is selected. The wattmeter that we are using in OC test is an LPF wattmeter. The out power input is drawn to the supply. The iron losses by the transformer are under no load. So these are open circuit losses or iron losses W0. Now OC test. When a single phase supply is given to transformer, the rated value of the primary voltage is adjusted by varying the variac. This is how the experiment is done. When single phase supply is given, the rated value of primary voltage is adjusted by the auto transformer that we have seen. You'll have an auto transformer by varying which you'll apply the rated primary voltage. So at this rated voltage, ammeter and wattmeter readings are to be taken. From this test, we get the rated voltage, input or no load current I0, and input power W0 or WOC, which is nothing but the losses. When the transformer is on no load, the no load current or the primary current is small, typically 3 to 5% or 2 to 5% of the rated value. This copper loss in the primary is negligible. In OC test, transformer is operated at a rated voltage at a rated frequency, so the maximum will be the flux in the core. Since the iron or core losses are at rated voltage, the power input to the drawn to the supply iron losses by the transformer under no load. So open circuit test, these are the calculations. In open circuit test, transformer secondary is open and the primary is connected to full rated line voltage. So this is the reading of the wattmeter. So it is equal to V0 I0 cos phi naught. Actually formula, you'll get this value from the wattmeter. So you'll find cos phi naught from this, W0 by V0 I0. V0 is the voltmeter reading, I0 is the ammeter reading. So IC or IW working component is equal to I0 cos phi naught. Multiply this ammeter reading with cos phi naught that you get from this, you'll get the value of IW, and IM or I mu is given as I0 sin phi naught. When you know cos phi naught, you can find sin phi naught, that is under root of I0 square minus IW square. Also you can use this formula, and these are not that necessary. Now we'll see what is R0 from this. R0 is equal to V0 by IW. When you get IW from this, you can find R0. R0 is V0 by IW. What is X0? V0 by I mu. I mu you have got here, and V0 is already the voltmeter reading. Similarly, G0 and B0 you can find from these expressions. So this is a equivalent circuit, that is I0, and this is IC or IW, and this is IM or I mu. This is R0 and X0. So this is how you will calculate the different values from open circuit test. Short circuit test. Generally, in short circuit test, HV is given single phase AC supply. Unlike in open circuit, well, you will give AC supply to the LV side. So you will consider a transformer, a step down transformer basically. In OC test, it is a step up transformer. This is a step down transformer basically. So HV side you'll have number of turns as more, and LV side number of turns are less, and short circuit is done to the LV side, not to the HV side. So to determine copper losses at any desired load and total voltage drop of the transformer referred to primary or secondary, this short circuit test is conducted. To find series branch parameters of the equivalent circuit such as Z01, Z02, R01, R02, X01, X02, we'll use this short circuit test. So to find copper losses, to predetermine the efficiency, Z0, R0, 1, X0, 1, etc., and to predetermine the voltage regulation, we'll use this short circuit test. In the same way that we have done previously, you'll have a variac, single phase supply is given to a variac, and from this you'll connect a voltmeter or a ammeter, and to this in series you'll have a current coil and a pressure coil in parallel. This combination is called as the wattmeter, and you'll short circuit this LV side. Now this test is also called as reduced voltage test or low voltage test. This is because as the secondary winding is shorted, because secondary we have shorted, at the rated voltage transformer draws a very large current due to its very small winding resistance. So the transformer will draw very huge current because of the short circuit. So such high currents can cause overheating and also burn the transformer. Thus, to limit the high current, primary winding must be energized with a low voltage, which is just enough to produce the rated current in the transformer primary. So you'll limit the current, or you'll using the variac, you'll adjust the variac voltage, vary the variac such that there is a high current in the primary winding. So this test is conducted on HV side due to the two main reasons. The first one is the short circuit test conducted by applying rated current, and HV side current is much less than the LV side current. Therefore, rated current is easily achieved at HV side due to low current value as compared to LV side. In HV, high voltage will have low current. In LV, low voltage will have high current. So short circuit test is conducted on HV side, and LV is short circuited. So by applying rated current is nothing but rated current in HV is much less than the rated current in LV, because the current in low voltage is higher than the current in the high voltage. So V1 by V2 is equal to I2 by I1. This is the formula that we have seen previously. Now during the test, by varying the variac slowly, we apply a low voltage to the primary, typically 5 to 10% of the rated voltage, to cause a rated current to flow in both primary and secondary. That we can observe in the ammeter reading. That means by varying the voltage, unlike in OC test where we'll apply the rated voltage to the primary, here we'll apply 5 to 10% of the rated voltage to the primary, such that the current uh, reading is maximum, or rated current is flowing. Now during this test, as I told you, in this test the current is rated and hence no load current is very small, is 3 to 5% of the rated current. In other words, voltage applied to the primary winding is very low, thereby flux in the core is very small. In turn, there is a negligible core loss. That means here the core losses or the iron losses that we have measured using OC test, here the core losses are negligible. So we'll only consider the losses, the reading of the wattmeter, as the copper losses, not as the core losses. Therefore, no load shunt branch is considered as absent in equivalent circuit in this particular test. As the iron losses or core losses are function of voltage, these losses are very small. Therefore, wattmeter reading shows the power loss or the equal to the full load copper loss. As I told you, the core losses are negligible in this case because a low voltage is applied and the core losses are proportional to the voltage. So they are considered to be negligible, and the wattmeter reading in this case is nothing but the full load copper losses of the transformer. So full load copper loss is WSC or WC, you can say. In this short circuit test, secondary terminals are shorted, as I told you, that is LV winding, and the primary terminals are connected to fairly low voltage source. The input voltage is adjusted until the current in the short circuit winding is equal to its rated value. The input voltage or current and power is measured. The WSC is equal to, this is the formula, ISC square by R01. ISC square is the current ammeter reading and WSC is the wattmeter reading. From this you can find R01 WSC by ISC square. And what is Z01 is equal to VSC by IC, voltmeter reading by ammeter reading, that you will get it from the SC test. And therefore you can find X01, that is under root of Z01 minus R01 square. So this is the equivalent circuit wherein you have neglected the parallel branch and you will have only have the series branch of R01 and X01 that you have already determined from these expressions that we have used. So now that was about the open circuit and short circuit test. Now how to find efficiency and regulation. First we'll look at the expressions for them, and I think I did not discuss regulation. We'll discuss in the next slides after discussing these efficiency and regulation. So efficiency is equal to output by input. So percentage efficiency is into 100. So kVA rating into 10 cube, that is kVA kilo, into power factor by kVA rating into 10 cube into power factor plus WC plus WI. Output by input. Input is equal to output plus losses. These are WCU and WI are the losses, iron losses and copper losses. And this is again input. Input by input plus losses. These two are losses. PF is the power factor, load power factor. Now percentage regulation is equal to I1 R01 cos phi plus I1 X01 sin phi by V1 into 100. So here what is WSC from this? What is WSC is equal to ISC square into R0, and WSC, that is iron loss. This is nothing but W iron loss, or sorry, this is iron loss and this is copper loss. So this is core loss or iron loss. V0 on I0 cos phi naught, you can substitute it here, and WCU is nothing but WSC ISC square R01. You already got these values, so you can substitute it here and find the efficiency and regulation, where we have also found R01 and X01. So the regulation, what is regulation? The voltage regulation is defined as the change in the magnitude of receiving and sending end voltages of the transformer. The voltage regulation determines the ability of a transformer to provide constant voltage for various loads. That is, it has to provide voltage regulation. What it gives, gives the ability of a transformer to provide constant voltage even if the loads are varied. When the transformer is loaded with continuous supply voltage, the terminal voltage of the transformer varies. The variation of voltage depends on the load and its power factor. So percentage voltage regulation or voltage regulation is given by E2. E2 is the voltage here, minus V2 by E2. So E2 minus V2 by E2 into 100 is percentage voltage regulation, where E2 is secondary terminal voltage at no load and V2 is the secondary terminal voltage at full load. A good transformer should exhibit a regulation percentage of less than 3. That means the regulation percentage must be very less. If the regulation percentage is very less, that then we can say that it's a very good transformer. The secondary terminals of, let's see how what does regulation exactly means. If the secondary terminals of a transformer are open or no load is connected to the secondary terminals, then no current flows through it, right? When it is open, no current. If no current flows through the secondary of the transformer, the voltage drop across the resistive and reactive load becomes zero. The voltage drop across the primary side of the transformer is negligible. Now if the transformer is fully loaded, that is load is connected to their secondary terminals, the voltage drop appears across it. The voltage regulation values vary based on the types of the load connected across the transformer, like resistive, inductive and capacitive. The value of the voltage regulation should be less for the better performance of the transformer. Now what is this fully loaded? Full load, that means the point at which transformer is operating at maximum permissible secondary current, that is nothing but the full load. That means it is operating at a maximum secondary current. This operating point will be determined primarily by the wire size, and that is called as ampacity, and the method of transformer cooling. This is nothing but full load and regulation. Now, significance of voltage regulation. The load connected to the power system or a transformer will not be steady all the time. Change in the load causes change in the current. Whenever there is a load value changes, if resistance is connected to load, let's say, if its value changes, then its current also changes. The voltage drop in the transformer winding also changes. It is necessary to maintain the supply voltage of the equipment supplied by the transformer. So in order to, as you know, the like the voltage stabilizers, you have to maintain the constant supply voltage. Because the supply voltage directly affects the performance of the equipment, you need to maintain it constant. Hence the voltage regulation of the transformer is significant. Now what is zero voltage regulation of a transformer? Zero voltage regulation indicates that there is no difference between its no load voltage and its full load voltage. Voltage regulation is E2 minus V2 by E2 into 100, right? So there is no difference between E2 and V2, therefore E2 minus V2 is equal to 0, or E2 is equal to V2. This means that voltage regulation equation is equal to 0. This is not practical and is only theoretical possible in case of an ideal transformer. That is, zero voltage regulation is only possible in case of an ideal transformer wherein no load and full load voltages are equal, or E2 minus V2 is equal to 0. Now if inductive load is connected to the transformer, now if the inductive load is connected, as you know, this is the secondary voltage and current lags because it's inductive voltage I2. So you can represent I2 R2 drop same parallel to this I2. If this is I2, you can represent, if this is voltage, the extension of this also must be a voltage, so it is I2 into R2. Now because it's there will also be inductive resistance as well as reactance, so this is I2 X2, and this total is E2. V2 plus I2R2 plus I2X2 is your E2. So OC is equal to OA plus AB plus BC. This OC is equal to OA plus AB plus BC. So OA is equal to V2, as you know, OA is equal to AB is equal to AE cos theta 2. AB is equal to, from this triangle you will get AE cos theta 2, or it is I2 R2 cos theta 2. Similarly BC is equal to I2 X2 sin theta 2. So E2 is equal to OA plus OB plus AB plus BC, that is V2 plus I2 R2 cos phi 2 plus I2 X2 sin phi 2. So E2 minus V2, if you write, E2 minus V2 is equal to I2 R02 or R2 cos phi 2 plus I2 X02 or X2 sin phi 2. So E2 minus V2 by E2, if you take denominator E2, here also you'll get E2, here also you'll get E2, so it is, and percentage voltage regulation is into 100. So this is I2 R02 by E2 into 100 is a percentage resistance drop, I2 X02 by E2 into 100 is a percentage reactance drop. So this is the general expression of voltage regulation for an inductive load. Similarly, if you look at the capacitive load, the explanation remains same, but this is V2, but generally I will be leading V2, this is I2, I2 is leading, so you'll get I2 R2 drop in like this, and there is some I2 X2, and this is nothing but the OD is nothing but E2, which is summation of OA plus AE plus ED, OA plus ED, OA plus AB minus BC or ED. So from this you'll get the same expression I2 R2 cos phi 2, instead of plus you'll get minus I2 X2 sin phi 2 by using the same calculations that we have done previously. So E2 minus V2 is equal to I2 R2 cos phi 2 minus I2 X2 sin phi 2. Similarly, if you divide E2, you will get the same expressions. So this is in case of a capacitive load. The only thing that you have to remember is I2 leads V2, so you'll get this resultant E2. Now, ferroresonant transformer. This is generally an unusual device. Ferroresonant transformer. Ferroresonance is a phenomena associated with the behavior of iron cores while operating near a point of magnetic saturation. The ferro transformer is a power transformer engineered to operate in the condition of persistence of core saturation. Even in the condition of a persistent core saturation, this transformer will work, and there are some applications. Although this is not a part of your syllabus, I just want to put a light on it because it's one of the practical important transformer that's used. That is, its core is stuffed full of magnetic lines of flux for a large portion of AC cycle, so that the variations in supply voltage have little effect on core's magnetic flux density, which means secondary winding outputs a nearly constant voltage despite significant variations in the supply. No, because they are fully stuffed with magnetic flux lines, this will have a little effect on core magnetic flux density. That means it, in spite of any variations, despite of significant variations in the supply, output is nearly always constant. That was what we were looking at regulation actually. This ferroresonant transformer always gives a constant output voltage which has almost approximately very less voltage regulation. Now, poor regulation applications, if the regulation is very high, there are also some applications of the applications of transformer. Even if its regulation is very high, that means a transformer is very good if its regulation is very uh, less, that means it is less than 3 or 5%. But if it's very high also, there are some applications wherein we'll use these transformer with poor regulation, like in discharge lightning, where a step up transformer is required to initially generate high voltages. Then voltage is expected to drop off when the lamp begins to draw the current. And also another application is current control of AC arc welders, which are nothing more than step down transformer supplying low voltage high current for welding process. So this is the end of the lecture 18, basic electrical engineering, unit 3, and the most probably the last topic of the unit 3. Mm, the other topics were already discussed in your class. Today we have seen what are the different tests that are conducted on transformer: open circuit test, short circuit test, how to find efficiency and regulation from them, and how these tests are conducted, and the process of conduction, and what do you get from these tests, and how do you determine the regulation and efficiency. Also we have seen what is regulation, what is the expression for regulation, what is the expression for regulation in case of inductive load and a capacitive load. Also we have seen ferro resonant transformers. If you still have any doubts, you can go back to the slides and listen to the lecture once again, and then you can clear your doubts if you listen to it twice or thrice. Thank you.